Welcome to my channel. This is JC Rock and Metal Reviews. My name is John, and today I'm going to be talking about the band Def Leppard. So let's get started. Before I begin, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. I upload every day. I do rock and metal reviews, I do rankings, and I do a lot more. And if there's any albums you would like to purchase through Amazon, I will be leaving my affiliate links in the description. So with that being said, let me get into it. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm one of those metalheads. I was said that this band Def Leppard, they suck, and they released 2 good albums. Like only their first 2 are good, and everything after that is crap. And I was like that for a while, but I have a subscriber. He's always commenting pretty much every day, Robert, and he recommended ranking this album. And I thought about it for a while, and you know what? It would be interesting just to revisit all of the Def Leppard albums again, and see if I like them, see if I don't like them. Let's see what happens. So I decided to do that. So I'm talking about 10 studio albums. So I'm not including the compilations, EPs, live albums. They did a covers. I'm not going to include that. So with that being said, let me begin. Okay, at number 10, I have the album titled X. This one came out in 2002, and their most pop sounding album. And this is also my least favorite. The songs are very too pop oriented. They stray from their classic hard rock sound. The song Now, it's an okay song. It's melodic, but I think the band is trying too hard to create a commercial sound. Another song, You're So Beautiful. It has that classic sound, but again, this album has too much filler. So that's why I didn't like it too much. At number 9, I have Euphoria from 1999. Now again, this was supposedly a return to their signature sound, but I guess for me it just didn't work. The song Promises was a hit and has their classic sound. They have one really good song on this album called 21st Century La 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 Girl. Probably the best song. Has this really cool riff. It reminds me of that Pyromania sound. But my problem with this album is just too much filler, and that's why I didn't really like it too much. At number 8, I have the album Slang. So this one came out in 1996, and 1996 was a year many bands released their alternative album or their grunge album. For example, Metallica released Load, Soundgarden released Down on the Upside. I actually like that last album, but this was their alternative album, and for me it's very hit and miss. It has some of their heaviest songs, but they sound a little forced to me. The title track, it's pretty good. It sounds like a traditional Def Leppard song. It has some heavier guitars. The song Work It Out has a lot of guitars and feedback, and the song Breathe a Sigh is an acoustic ballad. So I'm gonna say that this is an okay album. And at number 7 is Adrenalize. So this one I actually have the CD for. So here's the CD. And this was the album that actually made me lose interest in the band. This was the last one I ever purchased. Now, I don't know if it was the fact that I was into grunge at the time, but I went back to listen to it again, and it's just not as good as the other albums. It has a few good songs, Let's Get Rocked was the lead single, and that's a pretty cool song. It has a pretty cool bass. There's a ballad, Have You Ever Needed Someone So Bad? That was another good one. So I think this is an okay to good album. So that's why I have it ranked at number 7. Okay, now the albums here, they take a big jump. So everything here I actually like a lot. So at number 6 is Songs from the Sparkle Lounge. This one came out in 2008. Now this album wins the award for basically having the worst album title. And for that reason, I never really wanted to even listen to it or buy it. And it's a shame. It's a really good album. It's a vast improvement over the other albums. It's a return to their hard rock sound, and the songs are very good. The album opens with the song Go, And the song is like a little like heavier than others. Has some really like nice guitars on it. The songwriting is very well done. Feel the band is very more focused, and the songwriting is a lot better on this one. The track 9 Lives, it's another cool track, has a bluesy riff, and this was an album, I liked it a lot. Coming in at number 5 is Def Leppard. This is a self-titled album. It came out in 2015, and I didn't even know this album existed. That's how far away I kind of moved away as far as my interest towards this band was. But this is a very good album. It's a return to their classic sound. Let's Go reminds me of something from the Hysteria album. The song Dangerous has a really awesome opening riff, and it reminds me of, again, that Hysteria or Pyromania days. Invincible, really cool deep cut that has more of a modern rock sound. I like that one a lot. And this is definitely an excellent album, and I recommend it. Okay, now the top 4. These actually moved around a lot from what I had thought originally. So let me just get right into it. Number 4, On Through the Night. This is their debut album, came out in 1980. So this one has more of that new wave of British heavy metal style. More like bands like Riot and Saxon. I mean, I like the album a lot. It's very raw, it's heavy, it's good. The song Wasted, that's a really good song. It's really heavy. It reminds me of the early Iron Maiden almost. Hello America, it's an awesome song. Very melodic and catchy. And there are a lot of gems on this album. I really recommend it if you like that 80s British heavy metal. And at number 3, I have High and Dry. This one came out in 1981. So this was the album, I always would say that it was my favorite, but it moved down 2 spots after going back and listening. So it has that British heavy metal sound, but they're more starting to discover their sound. So the best example is Bringing on the Heartbreak. So this is a ballad, and it has that sound that seems more like something from the Pyromania album, which I'll talk about in a minute. And there are a lot of deep cuts here. You Got Me Running is a great song. Lady Strange is a great song. And the instrumental Switch 625, that's an awesome track. So at number 2, I have Pyromania. So I listened to this for the first time in years, and I really forgot how much of a great album it is. So this was produced by Mutt Lange, and they changed their sound to more of a hard rock hair metal sound, from after the first 2 albums. But this album is filled with classics. It's the kind of album you just listen to front to back. You got Rock Rock Till You Drop, Photograph, Rock of Ages, the ballad Foolin'. And this is just an awesome album. I listened to it again after probably many years, and it just brought me back, and I loved it. This is just awesome. And my number 1 pick is kind of a surprise, because I kind of thought I wouldn't like it when I returned to it, but I listened to it again, and it is just an awesome album. Now this album has a lot of nostalgia for me too. It came out when I was 16 years old. So when I turned 17, I got my driver's license, and I used to drive to high school, and it's about 20 minutes each way. So I drove this brown station wagon with a cassette deck, and that album was probably stayed in my cassette deck for a good 3 or 4 months. I would listen to one side on the way to school and another side on the way back, and I kind of repeated that over and over. I haven't listened to this album in years, but when I did, it just brought me back to those days, driving to school in that brown station wagon, and it just brought back a lot of memories. So I guess it might have a nostalgia factor for me, but it is really a great 10 out of 10 album. I mean, all the songs throughout are awesome. We have Animal, Woman, Pour Some Sugar on Me. We have the ballad Love Bites. It's more of a commercial sound, but it's a really commercial sound, but it's really well done. The songwriting is, top notch, very well produced, and for that reason, I have it at number 1. Okay, thanks for watching. Let me know in the comment section, what do you think of the band Def Leppard? You can give me your ranking in the comment if you like. Tell me some of your favorite albums. Tell me some of the albums you didn't like. So just let's get a conversation going. And that's about it. I'm working on a Saigon Kick ranking. They only have like 4 albums, and 1 album which was an import, which I may or may not include. Somebody, A to Z Music Haven, he just started another thread called the top 10 Kiss ballads. I thought that was a pretty cool idea, so maybe I'll do that during the week too. So definitely stay tuned and subscribe and hit the bell so you get notified every time I put out a video. Here's some other videos that you might like, some other of my rankings that you can check out next. And with that being said, I will see you in the next one.